Hey everybody, this is Pastor Chris. I'm coming to you live from Lexington Park Baptist Church. This is PC Studios, and it is April the 5th, 2023. How in the world are you doing today? It is beautiful. I think it's going to be 80 degrees here today. So welcome to the program. Glad you're here. Glad you're with me. Good to see Keith is back in the house, you slacker. Yeah, I just said that live on out on the breaths. But anyway, good to see you. Sandy, glad you're with us. Tim, looks like you're out there. Anybody else sign in, make sure you be with us. Good to see everyone back here. And again, I hope you're blessed and highly favored and having a great day. Anyway, with that, a few announcements. One, Thursday, tomorrow is the Living Last Supper. We're going to reenact, based on Scripture, kind of what that was like for Jesus to have that Last Supper, and then to carry on the tradition of the Lord's Supper that we have. We'll take it as a church. I hope that it kind of sets a tone and atmosphere, maybe something to where it kind of makes the Scriptures come to life instead of just reading them as you see it portrayed in front of you. Now, we obviously can't create the exact atmosphere and all that stuff, but create just a picture, a symbol of what you can see, what it was like. So I hope you'll come and enjoy that tomorrow night at 6 p.m. Come a little early and be here. Be prepared to take pictures afterwards. Get your selfies with Jesus and the crew there, the disciples, and have a little fun with it too. I think as Christians we need to have a little bit more fun, but also take this very serious, as this is like as real as it gets, the blood, the body, the crucifixion of Jesus. And speaking of all those things, now we're going to talk about the resurrection. So the one historic event that changed all of mankind is the resurrection. We'll speak a little bit about that this Sunday for Easter Sunday, as we have the sun up breakfast at 8:15. We'll eat by 8:30. And then we'll go have worship at 10 as we talk and continue this discussion of the risen. But today we're talking about how do we overcome our doubts. The resurrection should help us overcome our doubts. If there's anything that we should learn, is that the reality of the resurrection, one, changed history. It should change our personal lives. And the reality of the resurrection literally changes how we should view everything. I think even as Christians, sometimes we get so caught up in living and the stresses and all the issues and the possessions and the materialism and the hurts and the depression and the doubts and the despair and the bitterness and the resentment and all these things that play into life, the politics, the culture around us. There's just so much going on that we get so caught up, we lose perspective, you all. Maybe you think I'm crazy. Maybe you have it all figured out. And if you do, please let me know. But there's so much to pull our attention to distract us, is what I'm getting at. And it's real. I'm not saying it's not real. Despair is real. Depression's real. Disgruntledness is real. All those things I just listed, they're real. We live in a real world. But we must live in the real world understanding what the resurrection did and what it changes. And what it changes is this world is not our home. There is an eternity. Death does not have the final say. So, yeah, while we want good things to happen in this world, and we want to see good things happen to people, and we want to see positive, and we want to be productive people, and be fruitful and multiply, and be creative, and do all the things that God's called us to do, and do it for His good and His glory, not everybody will. The vast majority of people don't get that. And even Christians struggle with it. But if you get it, you get it. And your life has changed. Some people that have no faith and do not believe in God, their life hasn't changed. And that's what this doubt's about. There will always be skeptics. There will always be doubters. And Christian, I want to say this first of all. It's okay if you don't have it all figured out. Guess what? I don't either. It's okay to have some, I don't know, or if you do have some doubts, isn't God bigger than your doubts? I mean, Jesus even came to doubting Thomas. God can handle your questions. God can handle your concerns. God can handle your disbelief. Remember the guy that said, Lord, forgive me for my disbelief or my unbelief. God can handle all those things. And even as a Christian, it's okay to just say, I don't know, but I have faith. I'm not going to let doubt win. I'm not going to become a skeptic or a critic that causes me to lose hope or lose faith. No, we should not. So listen to what Luke does. Now, Luke, out of all the gospel writers, Luke is the one that writes to the tough crowd. He is writing to the intellectuals of his day. He's writing in high Greek. I mean, he's well spoken. He's well educated, and he's really making a debate. He's really making an argument and proving it. So he does it through the Gospel of Luke, but then he does it into the book of Acts. They go together. And so you have the Gospel, which is the life of Christ and the good news, and then he launches into the Acts, are the Acts of the Apostles, what the first century, the disciples end up doing. So here we go. Luke is writing chapter 24, verses 5 and 6, but why do you look for the living among the dead? He is not here, he is risen. So he asks a question. The question reveals a lot to us because the question actually implies that Luke knows the answer, and so should you. It's like an obvious thing, right? Why would you look for the living among the dead? And I brought this analogy up. We know when we go to a cemetery, people are dead. We go there to bury our loved ones. We go there to visit their burial plot. They're not there. I mean, any Christian would know that. We can have comfort in going there. We can have comfort because it can help us to remember things about them. It can also cause great pain. But regardless of all that, we don't look for the living among the dead. And so this statement is very profound. He's actually challenging them. Why are you doing this? He's alive. Why would you look for the living among the dead? Why are you trying to search for his body? He's alive. Why are you looking from tomb to tomb? He's alive. Why are you doing this? And to the doubter or skeptic out there, he is risen. He is not here. And the question I would ask you, why do you continue to look for the living among the dead? Why do people continue to try to say Jesus isn't alive, he's not, he's dead? Or they'll say he's alive, but then they don't live like he's alive. Or they'll say, yeah, I know the resurrection, but then they're a Hindu or they're a Buddhist or they're a secularist or they're evolutionists. It defies and denies the truth of the resurrection. Why are you living however you do, or why are you seeking in evolution the creator God? Why are you seeking in secularism or progressivism or liberalism or leftism or whatever? Why are you seeking for the God of the Judeo-Christian ethic of the Bible in all the wrong places? Why are you doing this? And this is his entire question, is to challenge. He's to challenge the intellectual. He's to challenge the skeptic. He should challenge us. Why do we look for the living among the dead? He is not here. And then Luke writes in the first section of the book of Acts, Acts chapter 1, verse 3, after suffering, he presented himself to the disciples, and he gave many convincing proofs. What many convincing proofs? That he was Jesus and that he was alive, that he did conquer death. He wanted every disciple to know what has just happened is real. I am really here. You're not hallucinating. You're not dreaming it. I have really come back. I did die upon that cross, and now here I am alive. And guess what? After 40 days, I'm going to ascend into heaven in the right hand of the Father, but I'm going to send the Spirit back to you. You're going to wait here, and the Spirit will come. And so Jesus makes this promise. So in chapter 1, he's giving them many convincing proofs that he's alive. Many convincing proofs that there is solid evidence of the resurrection. So to the skeptic out there, to the intellectual out there, to the person that doubts, God gave us many convincing proofs. And I would say that while you can say, well, I wasn't there. If I'm not there, I'm not going to believe it. You could be like Thomas. I got it. You can be like Thomas if you want. But Jesus told Thomas, after Thomas touched his hands and his feet and his side, he says, listen, there's going to be people that are going to come after you, Thomas. And their faith, their belief would be even greater than yours because they will believe without seeing. And so to us, you and me, we believe without seeing. What we do is we believe the evidence of the eyewitnesses. We believe the evidence of the scriptures. We believe the evidence of what God has done. And when people do it right and we see God's ways and values live out, it's a great thing to behold. When we see a church get it right, it's a beautiful thing. When we can see the work and evidence of God even now. We can even look outside now and I see a magnolia tree. And you know, when I see that, I can't help myself. I think of God's creation. I mean, I really do. I think of the beauty of it. When I see the sunshine, when I see the rain, when I see how everything just works together. Yes, there is bad. Yes, with storms can be hurricanes or tornadoes that are devastating people. Yes, all of creation is out of whack. But there's still so much harmony, and there's still so much beauty in a sunrise or a sunset or the ocean, or to see the beauty of a tree and to know that's how I'm getting oxygen. I mean, it just blows me away. Or the ground, how it gives nutrients to grow things. I mean, God is amazing. And see, that's what I see. I don't doubt. I can sit there and say, I can see God in these moments. I don't seek the living among the dead. I seek to know the living Christ, the God who created, the God who loved, the God who saves, the God who conquered death. And that is the Christ we speak of this Easter. So to the skeptics out of there, because of the resurrection, we can have a different life. And because of the resurrection, we no longer have to doubt. We can believe. And I know in my audience, probably most of you are like, duh, I get it. I'm a believer. I know this. But maybe there's someone out there that doesn't. And I want to encourage you today. And I want to ask you the question, why are you seeking the living among the dead? He is not here. He is risen. And that is the Easter story. And that is good news for all of mankind. Hey, have a great day. I will see you tomorrow. We'll finish out this week, this holy week together as we look at don't let death have the final say. We'll talk about our own demise tomorrow. All right. Yeah, I bet you're all signing up for that one. Hey, God bless you. Have a great day. Remember, God loves you, and so do I. You take care now. We'll see you tomorrow.